In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a lower forward control arm on your INFINITI G35. Using a 21mm socket, remove the 5 lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Using a 22mm socket, we're going to remove the 2 caliper bolts. Pull the caliper up and out of the way. I'm going to hang it on a hook that's hanging off of the upper control arm to make sure we have no pressure on this hose while it's hanging. Remove the rotor. Remove the cotter pin from the sway bar link. Using a 14mm socket, remove the nut. Remove the 2 14mm bolts on the backing plate. Using a soft face hammer, we're going to hit that sway bar stud and pop this out of the arm. Using a 19mm socket, remove the nut off of the strut arm. Remove the cotter pin out of the lower control arm. Using a 24mm socket, remove the nut for the lower control arm off of the knuckle. Just like that. Pull the strut arm out. Using a 19mm socket on the front and a 19mm wrench on the back, we're going to loosen the inner bolt for the lower control arm. Take the nut off. Pull the bolt out. Using a small pry bar, I pushed one end of the lower control arm out and then pop the other side off of the ball joint. Install the new arm. Put the bolt through. Install the nut. Torque this nut to 96 foot-pounds. Using a jack, we're going to push up on the knuckle. This will push our ball joint stud up, and we can install the nut. Snug it down. With the ball joint installed, you can take the jack out of the way. Install the nut and spacer onto the strut arm. Snug it down. Torque it to 51 foot-pounds. Install the sway bar link bracket into the new arm. Start the bolts. Snug the bolts down. We're going to use the jack again and jack the knuckle up. The reason we're doing it this time is to get the sway bar link onto its stud. Put the sway bar link nut back on, and then snug it down. Torque the ball joint to 77 foot-pounds. Install the cotter pin and bend it around. Torque this nut to 40 foot-pounds. Put a cotter pin into the sway bar link. Bend it around. Install the rotor. Grab your caliper. Pull it down. Install the caliper onto the rotor. Install the caliper bracket bolts. Torque the caliper bracket bolts to 113 to 14 foot-pounds. Install the wheel. Start your 5 lug nuts. Snug all the lug nuts down. And we'll torque them on the ground. Torque your wheels to 80 foot-pounds in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.